What up, bitches? Welcome back to Law of Attraction Changed My Life. I am your host, Francesca Amber, and here we are. Here we are on the last day of school. If you're here in the UK, we are on the brink. Well, we're not on the brink. We're here. We're at it of the summer holidays. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of you with children. The juggle is real. The juggle is fucking real. Trying to be the mum you want to be, or be the parent that you want to be, and still managing to live your best fucking life, achieving your goals, achieving your dreams, doing what you want to do, living out your life's purpose. Like the two, they don't always go together, and it fucking sucks. It's hard. It's hard out here for the mums in the streets. But also I have to recognise that a few years ago, I used to really struggle with summer holidays because I had 3 really young children. And I found it quite difficult to go places on my own with all 3 of them. Like, I'm not just talking like to the shops. I'm not a fucking wet lettuce. But I mean, like going out on like proper days out or going on trips or going away. I used to really struggle, and I felt really like codependent on everyone I knew. And I really dreaded it. And actually, I've got to say, time has moved on, my friends. The sands of time have shifted. And now she's out here, independent, free living, with 3 little girls in tow, and we're out here living our best lives. I'm actually really looking forward to the holidays. So it's important sometimes when these things come around, whether it's summer holidays or if you're a newly single parent, weekends or Christmas, whatever it might be that maybe in the past you used to find difficult for whatever reason. Don't need to have children for this, but for whatever reason, when you start to notice through self-development and manifesting and starting to live your life intentionally that you start to enjoy these things rather than dread them, that's when you know the shit you're doing is working for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the juggle of mum life and #dream life, which of course the two intersect. I am not a monster. Like, the two intersect, of course, is a little bit of the theme of what today's episode is about. And what I want to talk about today is something that is so vital to you receiving the manifestations that you desire. It is so vital for turning what you have written on your dream fucking list, your goal list, and what you have put a picture of on your vision board versus getting it to actually show up in your goddamn life. Okay, and that is creating the space in your life for what you want to receive to actually come through. Like, does it have the space in your life to come through? That's basically what we're talking about. And if you're thinking, Fran, I've heard you talk about this shit before, I don't care. You got to hear it again, because you know what? I have talked about it a couple of times, and still we forget. We need to be reminded. I'm talking for myself mostly here. I need to be fucking reminded. So the reason this kind of came up for me is because one of my big goals for 2024 was to finally get representation, to not be an indie bitch anymore. Well, I'm still a bit of an indie bitch, but I wanted to get representation. I wanted to get a publicist, and I wanted to get opportunities for me and the podcast. I wanted to get myself out there to a wider audience. I wanted to be in the fucking room. I wanted to be invited to shit. I wanted to have opportunities, right? And that goal became a reality. I got signed up to a amazing PR agency, an amazing publicist, shout out Charlotte at Bell PR, doing the Lord's work. But what I've found since I have been taken on by them is that I'm really struggling with finding the space to make the most of it. So I keep getting invitations, and this is going to sound like, oh, poor me. I keep getting invited to the BAFTAs and parties with free drinks. Oh, but truly, just hear me out. So I keep getting invitations to like really cool shit. Not just cool shit, but actually stuff that's going to really help me, putting me in the room with brands and with people that are going to help me on this quest to make this podcast as big as it can be. That is my goal, okay? So this is where I struggle, right? So I have a couple of things that are like top of my list. Like top of my list would be like, what a dream. I'm just going to say it out loud. Do you know what? I'm going to say it out loud so the universe can hear me loud and clear. I'm at the top of my house. I'm as close to the sky as I can be. Hear me, universe. So I would love to have a residential slot on This Morning. Imagine that if people did phone-ins and it was like, rather than just regular life advice, you could be like, actually, this is advice on like how to manifest whatever it is that you want. People call in with their manifestation questions. What a fucking vibe that would be. I would love that for me. I would love to do a dating show. Like I would love to do something like that. Something like Celebs Go Dating. I would love to do that. I would love to have my own Netflix show. I would love to do some sort of documentary. I would love all that shit for me. I would fucking love it. And yet, I keep getting invitations and I keep getting all these opportunities from this PR, and I'm struggling because how does one balance being a mum, especially a single mum, because I can't just leave my children at home with their dad. That ain't an option. That ship has sailed. Those bitches are gone. They're gone. They're not bitches. And so some people say to me, Fran, you could afford to have like a live-in nanny. You could have an au pair. You could have them in nursery full-time. Yes, bitch, I could. All of these things are true. I could have them in full-time care. But guess what? I love my children and I am committed. One of my priorities is committing to being a present and thoughtful and loving and active mother. That is one of my biggest missions in my life. And so you can't be a present, active, loving mother if you ain't there. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't if you're not there. I do one thing for myself. I go to pole dancing on a Monday night. It's 1 hour. This class is 1 fucking hour. You would not understand the World War III that happens every single week when I want to go to that class. I have 2 hours of torture. I have half an hour of, what's it called when you're like, negotiations. I have negotiations. Mummy, please, I'll be so good. Can I come with you? I'm like, no, a pole dancing class is not appropriate for a 3-year-old. You can't come, my love. And so basically this is my roundabout way of of saying that although I say I want this opportunity, right? I want to be invited to these events. I want to meet these people. I want to be in the room. I want the opportunity. When it comes, I have no space for it. And it throws me into a tiswas. Haven't heard that word in a long time, have you? Not since the 80s. It's thrown me into a tiswas. Just this week alone, I've been invited to a party in London for like a big brand. I've been invited to Caroline Flack's festival on Monday, like a VIP event thing where, it would be amazing. But I am torn up inside. I am torn up because I'm like, it's the start of summer holidays. I can't go and leave the girls, can I? They'll be so upset. Like it's throwing me into a fucking struggle. And so if I ask for something, if I say I want these opportunities, if I say I want this, but then when it comes, I have no space for it. And my mind is saying, no, this isn't right to be leaving your children. This isn't safe. And when I say it isn't safe, I don't mean that my lovely nanny, Emma, who I leave them with, is not safe. She's CBS checked. But I just mean that it doesn't feel safe within me. It doesn't feel right. So the universe will just say, no, sorry, Fran, that's it. Your opportunities, they ain't coming no more, bitch, because when they come, you're not grateful for them. When they come, I don't feel like, oh my God, amazing. My first thought is like, what am I going to do with the girls? Oh my God, what am I going to do with the girls? The struggle is real. This is why, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This channel, this isn't a channel. What is this? This is a podcast. I've forgotten what I'm fucking doing. This podcast is for everyone, but it primarily, I hope it speaks to the mothers. The single mothers, you've got my love, but all mothers. The juggle is real. It's hard to manifest and live your best life whilst you're also trying to be a present parent. It's fucking hard, okay? But parenting aside, this got me thinking about how so many things that we ask for we are literally like putting it on our vision boards. We're putting it on our goal lists. We're saying it's our priority. But then we're sending conflicting messages about wanting it and not having the time, space, or energy for when it arrives. And if you have any conflict in your mind about wanting something but not having the time, space, or energy for it when it arrives, guess what, bitches? Spoiler alert, it ain't gonna fucking happen. It ain't gonna happen. So let's apply this to if you were looking for love. I know that so many of us are looking for love. We're looking for the one. We're looking for a man 6'5" or taller. Finance. Whenever I try and quote that, I can never get the lyrics right. I know that those weren't the lyrics. Don't come for me. But you know what I'm saying. I personally would like a man 6'6" or taller. I'd go mixed race. I'd go Arabic. I love an Arab, anything like that. I'd go for anything at this point, to be honest with you. She does like a big dick energy. She likes the confidence, but someone who I just feel like I'm at home with, I'm comfortable with. Anyway, this is not my, this is not my Tinder profile. So say you're looking for love, right? There may be things in your life that are contradicting that. There may not be enough space in your life, mentally, physically, time-wise, for that person to come into your life. And when I say you, I mean me. I ain't got the fucking space. I say I want someone to come into my life. I ain't got the space or the time for it. So it's all about the awareness. You don't have to change everything straight away. It's just the awareness. So I remember when I did my very long stint of private coaching, which lasted all of 2 days because I fucking hated it. I coached a lady. I don't say I hated it in a bad way. Like, the people were lovely. I loved it. It just absolutely drained me because I'm an empath. But I coached this lady who lived alone with her dog. And she was like, I just really, really want a partner. I have a picture of what I would like, the type of person I would want. I've written a list of all the qualities I want. And then we started talking about our home life. And she was like, oh, sorry about the dog. He barks constantly. Like, he barks at every single person that goes past the window. And then she said, actually, he's like a real problem. He jumps up at people. He's really antisocial. He's like quite a problem dog. And I don't want to say this if it wasn't true, but I've got a feeling the dog pissed himself quite a lot. Now, this obviously was not conducive to meeting someone. And you may be thinking, Fran, what are you fucking talking about? It's just a dog. But if you have a dog in your life, that is a very big commitment. It is a very, very big commitment. And unless you meet a partner who is totally on board with it, I was speaking to my friend Hayley Sparks about this just the other day. She has a very, very old dog, and she was saying she's so thankful that her partner, her husband-to-be, is so loving towards her dog. She said the dog's a nightmare. The dog is old. The dog shits himself. The dog wets himself. The dog is a fucking nightmare. Those may not have been her actual words, but she said her husband never gets angry at it. He like takes him out in the garden when he needs to. And so what I'm saying is, for this lady that I coached, having that dog who jumped up at everybody, barked, was like not house trained, that was a real block to her being able to meet someone in her life. Because imagine if she met someone and she's like, oh, but you can't actually come into my home. Oh, and I can't actually come to your home because I'd be leaving the dog at home for hours on its own. Do you know what I'm saying? So I said to her, if you want to find love, you got to train that dog. You have got to get that dog sorted. You need to get it house trained. You need to get it socialized. You need to get that dog sorted, because while you have that issue, you ain't never, ever, 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 ever going to meet a man. And I didn't follow up with her, but I'm guessing I was right. Now, I have a very similar situation. My nighttime routine with my girls is wild. It is absolutely wild. She is a co-sleeping parent, #no regrets. But our sleeping situation is insane. I have one room that is just full of mattresses on the floor. It looks like we've just moved in, but we've been here a year and a half. There's loads of mattresses on the floor because it's where we all just like can sleep together. It's wild. There's a dog gate on the door. Yes, a dog gate, not a child gate. Because I went through a phase where I was like, maybe I just need to contain them. That didn't last very long. My daughter has a bedroom. My older daughter has a bedroom that she don't fucking use. She does not use this bedroom. It was decorated. She wanted it rose gold with glittery wallpaper. I did rose gold with glittery wallpaper. She wanted a bunk bed. I got her a bunk bed. She wanted a little tree house adopt. She got a tree house. Does she sleep in there? does she fuck. She does not sleep in there. She hasn't slept in there for about 2 years. The babies wake her up during the night. She gets annoyed with them because one of them has night terrors. They all come into my bed. One of them pissed the bed last night. So there I am, washing a mattress protector, washing all the sheets at 3 a.m. We're all trying to cram into my king size bed because now the other bed's wet. Everyone's sweating because it's 25 degrees outside. And mama ain't happy. And I'm just thinking, how on God's green earth am I going to introduce a man into this fucking chaos? Like this absolute chaos. And so, much like that woman with the dog, I know what I need to say to myself is that, Fran, a really positive action step towards regaining some energy in your life, regaining some space physically and fucking mentally, because parenting 24 hours a day when they're touching you, even when they're asleep, it's a real thing, guys. Let me tell you, they're nearly 4 now and 8. My co-sleeping bit, I think it's done. I don't need to do this anymore. And so I need to sort that issue out. I need to sort out my nighttime routine so that I can regain some energy, regain some balance in my life, but also feel confident that someone can come into my life and that it's not a fucking shit show. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, we could also apply this to if you are wanting to have a baby. There are so many people that have complete mental blocks on getting pregnant. And I was one of them. Like, I feel you. The first time that I wanted to actually have a baby, I had a real mental block on it. And I have a whole episode about this. Back. Just keep going back. Keep scrolling. It's there somewhere. And this is such a common thing that I hear with people. Now, what if you wanted to have a baby, but, and this is just an example, there could be a multitude of examples here, but your career is super, super important to you. And you never say no to opportunities because maybe you're so lucky to have your job and you're working your way up the ladder, or it's your own business and you feel like you just can't say no because you just want to, grab life by the fucking balls and be like, yes, I'll say yes to everything. And the problem with this is we often say yes to things in the future too. And if you are constantly saying yes to every opportunity and you are saying yes to things in the future and you are already booked up months in advance or whatever, then you are not leaving any space in your life to be open to having a baby. Because let me tell you, when you have a baby, you're going to have to take some time off, bitches. You're going to have to take some time off. The pregnancy alone, that, you're going to have to already be taking time out of your business or whatever it is, your job, your career, your whatever it is that is filling your life right now. You're going to have to take time out from it. And don't listen to these people that are like, oh, well, I just went back to work like 2 days later and put them in full-time nursing. Then don't have one. That's my controversial opinion today. Don't fucking have one. It is going to take a lot of time and energy. And that sometimes can be a huge block for us. And it's not a sexy thing to hear. It's not an inspiring thing to hear. But it's the fucking truth. And I'm here to tell you the truth, if nothing else. So if you are somebody listening that wants to have a baby, be really honest with yourself about like, am I blocking myself from getting pregnant because I am not willing to yet say no to other things in my life that are currently my priorities? You'll be amazed when you ask yourself these things about what is taking up a lot of space and time and energy in your life that is literally cock blocking you from receiving what you said that you want. So how can we resolve this? What can we do about this? Let's get positive. Let's take some fucking action, right? Now, the first thing would be, and this is like such a common thing, I love to recommend this because it's so, so powerful, is just to edit your life ruthlessly and regularly. Edit your fucking life. Edit it, curate it, call it what you like. Get rid of shit from your plate. Whether this is commitments, whether it is certain people, that you're like, why am I spending time with this person? Now, it can be hard sometimes to cull certain people from your life before new people have come in. It can be hard to do that. We often do that when we're lonely and we say, oh, I'm going to keep this toxic dick appointment with the devil dick around until I find the love of my life. Let me tell you something. That devil dick appointment, he's keeping you from your real love coming in. You need to create the void before it can come in. It's the same with friends. Maybe you find yourself, you've outgrown some friends, or you maybe don't vibe with people the way that you used to, or maybe you never did. I had a friend that I thought was great fun and we were always drunk. And then I got pregnant and I was like, oh, we actually don't get on at all. I was just drunk the whole time. And so you can often find yourself looking at the people around you and being like, these aren't my people. And it's okay to lovingly let go of those people. And like I said, it will sometimes feel really uncomfortable in the interim to be like, oh, I've let go of these people and there's no one to replace them yet. But let me tell you, if your life is filled with people you don't want to be around and it's filled with it and you're spending your time with them, you're never, ever, ever going to create the space for the new people to come in. Now, it could be certain jobs, certain clients, stuff you don't want to fucking do. It's okay to say no to some of those things. It's okay to say some clients are not your fucking vibe. It's too much drama. It's okay to have certain jobs that are somehow your fucking job that you're like, actually, I don't want to do this anymore. A little bit like Kris Jenner with her Christmas Eve party. She's like, no, I'm an old lady now. I don't want to do this. Which leads me on to point number 2. You can delegate. You can delegate stuff in your life. And this is going to be shocking to some of us because we feel like we have to do it all. But you can streamline your responsibilities to others in your life. Now, this might be to others within your home. If you are living in a traditional relationship with a partner, if you're a woman listening to this, or maybe you're gay and you're a bottom, I don't know who's listening. It is likely that you are taking on the majority of the unpaid household labour. This is just a fact. I'm just here stating facts, okay? There is a fantastic book called, oh no, I'm not going to remember it. Oh, it's called like It's Fair Play. It's called Fair Play. And if I was in a relationship, I would be reading that right this second. I wouldn't be recording this podcast. I'd be reading that fucking book. I've recommended it to everyone I know that has a husband or a partner. And it is about delegating responsibilities and evening out the workload within the home. If you find that you are doing everything, maybe it's time to sit down with your partner and say, look, should we have a meeting once a week and sort of discuss how we're feeling about how this ship is running? Who is doing the majority of the shit here? How can we even it out so that I am not laden down with the responsibilities of this entire home? Maybe it's at work. Maybe at work you're doing stuff that is not your fucking job. And it's time to be like, yo, it's time to check my job description, bitches. I think you'll find me going to buy donuts for everyone every day. It ain't in my job description, okay? And even with your friends. Are you that friend that everyone always comes to your house? So you have to host, you have to clean and make it presentable beforehand. You have to provide the drinks, you have to provide the snacks, whatever it might be. Or maybe you're the friend that always organises the meetups or the holidays, whatever it might be. It's time to sit those bitches down and be like, yo, look, I've done this for the last 500 years. How about one of you do it for once? Because I think as women, we are sometimes so bad at direct communication like that, and we want to say it, but we don't say it. And then we get really resentful, and that ain't good for nobody. Just sit them down and be like, guys, do you know that I've actually organised the last 5 nights out? How do you feel about if you fucking did it for once, but not in that tone? Say it in a really friendly tone. So you can streamline your responsibilities and you can delegate out things to other people. Now, number 3, sort out, a little bit like me and that lady with her dog, sort out your biggest issue in your life, even if it feels like it's not directly linked to your, goal, because it is. Let me tell you, your biggest issue in your life will be directly linked to your goal. So my goals are, I want to take my podcast to new heights. I want to be super successful with this podcast. I want to take the law of attraction to more people than I could ever imagine. I also would love to find love in my life. Like those are, say, like 2 goals, right? It's not the be all and end all, but those are 2 of my goals. Now, for me, my biggest issue at the moment is this sleeping situation. Like, it is a real fucking issue. Like, it's honestly like musical beds all night long. No one's getting any sleep. Everyone's sweating because we're all crammed into one bed like fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And it ain't fun for nobody. So sorting out your biggest issue, whether it's your sleeping routine, your dog that keeps shitting itself, whatever it might be, the beautiful thing about this is not only is you sorting this out going to really help you in your day-to-day life anyway. Like, for example, for me, I'll get better quality time with my children. I will have more boundaries in place so they won't be taking the piss. I won't feel weak and like, oh, okay, I'll just lay with you. I will have better sleep. I will be fresher during the day. I won't feel exhausted all the time. I'll be more productive. I'll be more present, all that kind of shit, right? But also, when you are taking positive action, you are putting the law of attraction into action. There is nothing the universe loves more than conscious, deliberate action. So when I am sorting out this sleep situation, right, and I'm putting things in place and I'm saying, right, this is what we're doing, this is our new routine, this is how we're doing it, I'm not just doing it, right? I'm not just doing the sleep. That's not what's going on. In my mind, I'm also thinking, wow, this is great work, Fran. Like, I know this feels really hard for about a week or 2 while you're getting it in place, but actually this is going to feel really great, because when you do meet someone and you're like, hey, come back to the Pussy Palace. That's not what I call my house. That's not what I call it. I don't know why I called it that. Come back to my gaff. Come back to my abode. Whatever you want to choose. I am going to feel confident that it's just going to be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes away that massive block that is literally keeping my dream love, my dream soulmate, whoever he is, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, it's keeping him at arm's reach. Does that make sense? So when you are taking any kind of positive action, I particularly love doing this when I'm decluttering, when I'm clearing stuff out and I'm like, oh, this is so exciting. Oh shit, hang on. I think someone's at my front door. Hold on. Okay, it actually wasn't somebody. I thought it was my handyman coming to put up my pole dancing pole, which rather inappropriately is going in my children's playroom. But look, don't judge me. She's out here trying to live a healthiest, fittest life. So yeah, when you declutter, it is so powerful to be like, oh, I'm clearing all this stuff out to make space for this person or to make space for these opportunities. Now, number 4, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. I'm just saying it up top. You're going to hate this shit. But how about we have a little social media or phone use cull? Why don't we? Why don't we set some boundaries for ourselves around social media or the use of our phone? You will be amazed, astonished, bamboozled by the amount of time and space that you have when you stop filling every second with looking at your phone. Now, are you guilty of, as soon as your friend gets up from the table in a restaurant, you look at your phone? Are you guilty of going to the toilet and looking at your phone while you're on the toilet? Are you guilty of getting up in the morning and looking at your phone? Are you guilty of any of those? Stop filling every second with stuff, because you know what that's doing? It is filling your mind and making it feel super overwhelmed. Your brain is not designed, it is not used to, it hasn't evolved to take that much information in all the time. Like, we ain't built for that shit. We're not built for it. And so start to create space within your mind where there's nothing going in, there's no input. So maybe you're standing in a queue in a shop. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing. Don't check your emails. Don't check your messages. Don't check your DMs. Don't check your Grindr fucking dick pic messages. Just be there. Just be where you are. Give your brain a little bit of time and space. Be present. Look around you. You might look up, look over at the next till and, hey, there's the love of your life. You might look the other way and, oh, it's Mary Portas from the TV. And she's, someone really is ringing my doorbell now. Hold on. I don't know why I said Mary Portas. I think it's because I used to bump into her all the time in Islington. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back and I can't remember where I was. It's so valuable to just have space within your brain. And also, if you look at your screen time on your phone, you will see, oh my God, I'm wasting 5 hours of my life. And of course, not all of it's wasted. Some of it is true connection time. Some of it is truly enjoyable. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you are wasting quite a few hours a day of your time when you could be taking more positive action on the things that really mean more to you. I recently took a TikTok course. Yes, I did a TikTok online course and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And it just reconfirmed for me why I hate TikTok. The whole thing was about really strong hooks to hook people in, like clickbait, and then drawing people in and making them watch until the very last second, like not giving away what you're going to tell them until the very last second. And I was like, do you know what? This is not in alignment with who I am. I don't like this. Like, I don't like mining people's time and attention just for the sake of the likes and to get to the top of the algorithm. I'm not about that vibe. I just hate it. That's the same reason you don't see me posting reels every single day, even though that's what Instagram says you should do, because I'm not here to mine people's time and attention. If you enjoy listening to this podcast and you get a lot of value from it, I fucking love that for us. I love that for me. I love that for you. But you are not going to find me doing fucking clickbait reels every single day trying to get to the top of the algorithm. Is there a top of an algorithm? Is an algorithm, is it a circle? Does it have a top? I don't know. But I don't want to be there either way. Which leads me on to point number 5, is just to remember your priorities and your values. Now, if you have done any self-development work, maybe if you do the goal setting party with me that I do every January, you will have worked on what your priorities are, either in this season of your life or this year, or what your values are. Your values don't really change. That's just who you are. And it's important to stay true to those. And when we are trying to create space and energy in our lives for what we want to manifest in, we need to always be aware of our priorities and values to make sure that everything is in alignment. So for me, one of my top priorities in life are my children, is my family, and being a present mother. That is one of my values. And so if I wanted to just throw all that away and get a full-time nanny in to go to every event under the sun, that actually would make me less satisfied with my life in the long run, because I'm not living in alignment with what I prioritize and what my values are. So look, it's a dance. It is a dance. It is a balance. It is a nuance. And that is why manifesting is truly an art. Yes, it's a science. Yes, it is, but it's also an art, and it's up to us to figure out the right steps and the right tempo and the right dancing. I don't know where I'm going with this dancing thing, but you know what I'm trying to say. But the overall message in this episode is basically that we are trying to create as much space in our life as possible, as much space, as much expansiveness in your life, so that it doesn't feel full to the brim, so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. And if you do have those feelings of being overwhelmed or full to the brim, look, don't be hard on yourself. That's exactly how I've been feeling today. Hence why I've been recording this episode right now. There's a great quote in the book, You Are a Fucking Success by Noor Hibbert, which I absolutely love. Now, can I find the page that it's on? No, I can't. And I am notoriously bad at remembering quotes, but it's something like this. If your hands are full, you cannot reach out and receive everything that the universe is trying to give you. Look, that's not what it is, but you get the vibe, right? If your hands are full, you cannot receive what you've been asking for. And so create as much space as you can, edit your life ruthlessly, delegate to others, sort out your biggest issues, be real about your social media and your phone use, and realign with your priorities and values. And this is going to really help you to create the space in your life to receive what you truly want. If you found this episode useful, if you have any value from this at all, please do your girl a solid. Please do. If you have 2 seconds, I don't know why I keep going so high, but you can rate, review, subscribe. It takes mere seconds. It's free. It's so easy. You can just tap 5 stars. Look, I'm just suggesting 5 stars. You ain't got to do 5 stars. You just do what you feel. But I'm saying 5 stars could be a great move for me, okay? And your reviews, I fucking love them. I read them all. Guys. I absolutely love them. Thank you so much. You can come and follow me on Instagram, where I am mostly lounging around in flower fields with my children or pole dancing. That seems to be most of the content at the moment. She's living her best life. I'm at Francesca Amber, or at Law of Attraction Changed My Life. And guess what? We've just chosen a new book for the book club. If you don't know about the book club, get to know. I host the UK's biggest self-development book club full of bad bitches. Every month we choose a new book and we read all different aspects of manifesting your dream life. So whether it's dressing for the life that you want, feng shuiing your home for abundance, seasonal living, cyclical living, energy management for women, old school manifesting, whatever it is, we fucking do it. And for August, we are reading a book by Susie Moore called Let It Be Easy. And this is the perfect book for the summer holidays because it's all about just choosing ease, and that so much stress in our life is caused by us overcomplicating things in our minds and basically creating that stress for ourselves. So if you want to come and join us for that, I will leave the link down below, or you can go to francescaamber.com where all my shit's there. You can find all my shit in one place. You can find the book club, you can find my subliminals, you can find everything. But in the meantime, create some space in your life. Get those hands open and ready to receive what you want into your life. And I'll see you bitches next week. The law of attraction has changed my life. It's going to change yours too, bitch. Bye.